It's Keith Naylor here again. This is a workshop that I am doing at Stubbylee Community Greenhouses. It's part of my final major project at Blackburn College. We've been working with the art group here, and we've already run 3 workshops in relation to the origins of art in the Palaeolithic. We've already looked at charcoal making, pigment and paint making, and then we've also been looking at the range of colours and the earth tones that were used at the time. This workshop we wanted to sort of progress on to try and replicate some of the cave art that was being produced at the time, which was often, practically all examples are in limestone caves. The reason that they're in limestone caves is that they're the most common form of deep caves that you'll find, and they're found all around the world. I think the longest one is up in Canada, where they're now getting to like a 2-week expedition to get to the end of it. But some of the cave art at the time was deep within these caves, and 2 things that fascinated me was the surface on which they were actually producing it and the lighting conditions that were present at the time, because they were only using tallow candles and wooden torches, which just incredible to think that they could actually work in those conditions and view them afterwards. You know, that's how they were seen. So I'm quite interested in how that interplays on the surface. How you view a picture, because we normally just see pictures in the gallery on a nice flat surface, on a canvas or on a screen. So today's workshop, we're going to make the first part of basically making our rock art canvas. So we're going to try and replicate some of the texture and surface of the caves that they would actually work in. The way that we're going to be doing that, we're going to be using this aluminium mesh, which is quite stiff, but it's also quite flexible. You can bend it very easily. You can actually sort of crease it and form it into different sort of shapes. Some artists use it in making very large sculptures and then putting plaster on. And the second part, after we've formed, if you like, a rigid frame with that, is to actually cover it in plaster bandages. The typical ones that they use in sort of cast, or used to use when people broke the bones and made the cast. You dip it in water, you stretch it then over the aluminium frame, and you weave that a little bit. I'll show you as we go along, and then that will actually form quite a rigid surface, but quite textured, and it sort of gives that sort of replication of the sort of surface that you might find in the conditions. So I don't know if anybody's had to have a quick look at that. You can sort of pass it round. You can see the aluminium frame at the back. So what we're doing is we'll be each trying to make, just in this workshop, it's basically we're making our canvas for a future painting. Yes. So we'll be cutting out the aluminium. Gets a bit messy. We're using the bandages here. We layer those. I'll go around demonstrating. We'll probably start with just one person. That's the easiest way. Somebody will be a guinea pig, and they will make theirs, and then we can see. I can just show you how to actually do it. So each of us, by the end of the workshop, by the end of the day, we should have our rock art canvas, if you like, ready for the next workshop, where we'll start using the charcoals that we made and some of the ochre colours that we made to replicate some of the paintings. Okay? That's right, John.